So I just picked this up. This is a Wenger EvoGrip S101, and I'm just surprised there's not more content about this knife online. I mean, the main reason I got it was this lock. I basically have never had any of the other ones with this style lock. Wenger is the only one who made this. Victorinox didn't offer it. But I wanted to try it out. I was curious how this would fit in the hand as far as comfort. And if it's an issue, and it's really not. The action's really nice. You pull it out, it's actually a first stop here. And then has a real nice crisp snap into place. And when you hold it, it's real nice. You're not really having an issue where you would squeeze it to the point that you would close this. I mean, you can't. I mean, you could if you really tried hard. And I was actually kind of trying to do like a one-handed operation where you could open it and then squeeze this and push it shut, and it does work. And that stop's really useful, so you don't end up pinching or slicing into your index finger, and then you close it the rest of the way. I think they really expect you to use it two-handed though, where you'd open it and then when you're done, like that. But either way works. So that was kind of the main reason I got it. Well, it was a knife I was looking at because of the lock with the Wengers. And then the other reason that really set it off was this clip point blade. So I love clip point blades. And you only see them really on Wengers. I have this old discontinued Ranger grip. Same deal. Nice. Much bigger, but nice clip point blade over here. And then I had, this was actually my original Wenger that I had gotten many years ago, like almost 10 years ago. And the reason I wanted it was the clip point blade really stuck out to me, but also I did like the soft touch black finish. These were called like EVO GRIP Soft or something. Obviously all discontinued. I did like the scissors. This was my first exposure to the Wenger scissors. I actually prefer them. I get the criticisms of them, and for certain things they don't work as well as the Victorinox scissors, but I like this spring bar because this reminds me of some of the Leatherman scissors. This is just super durable. This is going to last forever. I don't have one on my desk here, but the Victorinox scissors have a little replaceable spring that breaks from time to time. I've had one break on me, and I just don't think it's as durable. But as far as the functionality, sure there's a little difference. This is actually the same size. These are both 85 millimeter Wengers. They are different than I don't have a 84 millimeter on hand. Victorinox, like a Celador plastic scale, but this is an 84 millimeter Bantam, Cadet. This is an ALOX Cadet, and slightly smaller. It's not really noticeable. But going back to the EVO GRIP S101, I have to remember that number. They have very weird numbering and naming with Wengers, but it's really cool. It has some of the normal tools, so I actually really like their cap lifter screwdriver. This one doesn't have the locking mechanism, and neither does this. But some of my other Wengers have the cool locking standard screwdriver. So you see it says patented on them a lot of the time on the screwdriver. And when you press this in, it actually shoves it back into the tool slightly, and that causes it to lock. So you have better control over your screwdriver. This little, this is called I think a S63 or Evo 63, I guess. And it's actually a combo tool, but it has the function where you can hear it. When you push it in, it locks. So if you're really bearing down on something, it won't close on you. Sort of like a light lock. This one I actually got years ago buying just like bulk lots of random like confiscated Swiss Army knives and stuff from like TSA. This wasn't like I always find one specific knife that I wanted in the set, and those were this was like 10 years ago. They used to sell really cheap. A lot more buyers now, but I always liked this knife a lot, and the grips. I like the Evo grips. They're very comfortable, and that's kind of another reason I want to try this out. This has the soft rubber insert deal going on, which is cool. But going back to the tools, you know, you have the cap lifters and screwdriver, and then I actually prefer, I'm probably maybe in the minority on this, I prefer the Wenger style bottle opener, or sorry, can opener. The reason I like it more than, say, Victorinox, and I have kind of a comparable Victorinox tool here. For can opening, I think this sort of, they're the same. They work differently. This one you cut forward, you push in, and this one you pull backwards, more like I think more the military little key can openers more work like this. But this screwdriver is basically worthless. They claim you can use it on Phillips, but it doesn't work very well. And you can't really do it. You can kind of cut with it, I guess, maybe push through a package. But I just feel like it's sort of like, maybe it works well at can opening, and then it's not a good screwdriver and not really good for anything else. Whereas I find just focusing on the can opening, I would maybe argue this works better. But more importantly, I find this super sharp edge. Some people call this the claw, I've heard on the forums. But this is really sharp and pointed, and you can scrape things. I'm not going to scrape my desk, but package opening it works great at. So I love that on, I've been, you know, I use this one quite a bit for that. Same tool, exact same tool on both of these knives, and this just works awesome for opening packages. I think it works better than the package opening tool on my one of my Leatherman Free T4. It has like basically a flathead screwdriver with the edge kind of chiseled off, but it doesn't work as well as just a Wenger can opener. But yeah, so it's just a cool set. It obviously has, you know, the normal stuff. I don't really care for the corkscrew. This is sort of like a mild scraper I've used before on the Victorinoxes at least. But you can hold a little screwdriver in it, or I've seen those new fire starter, fire ant kits with tinder and stuff. I don't do that, but I prefer a standard screwdriver or Phillips screwdriver myself. I think that's called the S101. But all these are discontinued, so you can't be, you know, beggars be choosers or whatever. I can't really find one of those on eBay, whereas this seller has a bunch of these for sale. The last tool is the reamer. I think it's fine. I would definitely agree with people who prefer the Victorinox version. It has a sharper edge, and I guess you theoretically could try to sew with it. They claim. I don't think so. The holes, you're gonna put too big of a hole, even in leather. It's gonna be a big opening just to get that thread in. But this is sharp and definitely works better for reaming. This one where they work only like on soft stuff. But I don't really use that tool either. Speaking of which, this is basically the same tool except for one difference. I mentioned the clip point blade. These, you know, have the standard Victorinox small blade, but I really like I don't know, I just think clip point blades are cooler, and that just jumped out at me. It's kind of random. So this is, you know, basically the same tool. I forget what they call this on the Victorinox. This is a weird branded one, but you can see the difference. Victorinox is actually a little bit thinner because this has those like EVO scales, but it's bigger because it's 85 millimeters instead of 84. The grip, I mean, these are comfortable. Certainly Victorinoxes are very comfortable, but the EVO grip I think kind of is nicer. At least, yeah, it's more visually interesting, and you got maybe a little bit better grip with this kind of tacky rubber material. And they're just kind of a handsome knife. But yeah, I really dig this lock. May look into some of the Victorinox EVO grips, since they have started to make all those. Since they bought Wenger, they chose to implement some of the same designs and kind of reuse them with the ownership. But yeah, this is a cool knife. I do like this old 63 too, S63 or whatever this is called, EVO 63. And this all plastic or whatever is actually really comfortable. It's really smooth and nice. I don't know, maybe even more comfortable than this, but this, I think you have better grip. So if you're concerned about it getting loose, I think this is probably better. But this just feels kind of luxurious and nice. This one definitely I feel like is superior to the flat Victorinox style. but it's also small. I love this because this knife is so small. You can fit it in like the coin pocket on your your denim jeans. It's just tiny. It fits in there. This I think will still fit. It's a little bit fatter with a couple more. Has 2 layers, I guess you'd say, versus a single layer. But it's still really nice. And I think the setup with the cool clip point blade and then the locking blade is pretty dope. So if you want to check this out, I couldn't find any other videos on YouTube, so I figured I'd make my own so people could be aware of it. Possibly a bad decision because they'll buy up the last ones, but get them while you can. Wenger is cool stuff, and I don't think these are ever going to become collectible as far as value, but they're collectible because you can't get them anymore and they're neat. So you might be interested in checking them out. These are becoming more rare and expensive to pick up. You can still get them reasonable, but I'm seeing some people offering like brand new ones of these Rangers for like $150, which is madness for what they used to go for. You can get a brand new Victorinox Ranger grip for like $40. So it sucks that they're going up. So that could eventually happen here. We'll see. Anyway, check out the EvoGrip S101.